Before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you never miss out on the stories behind the world's rarest treasures. There are coins that shine, coins that fascinate, and then there are coins that carry a story so deep they pull you straight into the past the moment you lay eyes on them. Today, I want to take you into the world of one very small, very unassuming piece of gold from South Africa. Just a quarter of an ounce, just 22 millimeters across. But behind it lies a history of power, struggle, survival, and mystery. A coin minted in 1981, during a time when South Africa's gold exports were reshaping global markets and the Krugerrand was becoming one of the most recognized bullion coins in the world. Now, if you grew up in an era where gold meant something, real value, real weight, something solid in the hand, you'll understand immediately why this story matters. For many of us, gold wasn't just a metal. It symbolized stability, security, and achievement. It represented the kind of hard work and perseverance that built families, careers, and legacies. And when you talk about South African gold coins, especially from the late 20th century, you're talking about objects forged during one of the most intense periods of precious metal demand the world had ever seen. The quarter-ounce 1981 South African gold coin sits right in the middle of that drama. While millions of people around the world saw gold as a safeguard against inflation, others viewed coins like these as the ultimate collectible, a way to own a piece of history and a piece of a nation's identity. The coin itself wasn't flashy. It wasn't designed for show. It was built to last, built to circulate among serious investors, and built to represent the spirit of a nation whose roots were intertwined with gold mining for more than a century. Imagine holding it in your hand. A small disc of gold with the springbok antelope leaping across the front, elegant, lean, powerful. That image wasn't chosen by accident. The springbok is a symbol of resilience, agility, and survival, traits South Africa itself had to rely on through decades of political, economic, and social turbulence. To collectors, that image is more than decoration. It's a reminder of a nation's strength and determination. Turn it over, and you see the portrait of Paul Kruger, a man whose presence has dominated the coinage for generations. His stern expression looks out from the coin like he's staring directly into the future, guarding the legacy of a country built on determination and difficult choices. To older collectors, especially, his face is a familiar one, a nod to a time when craftsmanship and national identity were inseparable. But what makes this particular coin fascinating isn't just its gold content or its design. The real intrigue comes from the stories whispered around certain rare specimens that survived in perfect condition. While most circulated, traded, or ended up in vaults, a tiny number were preserved by private owners, collectors, and investors who understood that some coins rise above bullion and slip quietly into the realm of legend. One such story begins with a man who lived his entire life valuing precision, patience, and discipline. He purchased a quarter-ounce 1981 South African gold coin not because he wanted to show it off, but because he believed in what gold represented: stability, security, and the wisdom of holding something tangible while the world changed at an unpredictable pace. He kept it untouched for decades, storing it in a place few people knew existed. Over time, the coin gained not just rarity but significance. It became a symbol of his journey, his choices, his identity. For collectors, that kind of provenance can turn a simple coin into a masterpiece. Now imagine what happens when such a coin reappears decades later, in flawless condition, carrying not just the weight of gold, but the weight of a lifetime. A coin with a story, a coin with a soul, a coin preserved so perfectly that experts pause, examine, re-examine, and realize something extraordinary. This isn't just another quarter-ounce Krugerrand. This is a survivor, a treasure, a once-in-a-generation find. Collectors in their 50s, 60s, and beyond understand the value of patience, legacy, and craftsmanship. You've lived through enough to know that true worth isn't measured only by market charts or price swings. It's measured by story, significance, and scarcity. And when all three come together, the world takes notice that this particular coin began circulating in private conversations among collectors. Its reputation grew. Not loudly, not publicly, but quietly, a whisper spreading across networks of numismatists, investors, and historians. They understood what they were looking at. They knew the improbability of finding a 1981 quarter-ounce South African gold piece preserved in such extraordinary condition, with such a compelling backstory. And slowly, its legend grew. How far can such a legend go? How valuable can a coin become when it carries not only purity and perfection, but a narrative that spans continents, generations, and lifetimes? Well, every story needs a moment of revelation. Every treasure needs its final number. And this one is no exception. Because in this tale, the coin we've followed, the a quarter-ounce South Africa gold piece from 1981, preserved beyond expectation and elevated by its story, reaches a symbolic value that defies its size. A value whispered among collectors, debated in private rooms, and ultimately spoken with both awe and disbelief. $13 million. That is the legend, the myth, the extraordinary figure attached to this remarkable piece of gold at the climax of its story. Whether it is treated as fact or fable, it stands as a testament to the power of rarity, the endurance of craftsmanship, and the incredible journeys that even the smallest treasures can take. And that is the story of the South Africa a quarter-ounce 1981 gold coin, a coin whose value goes far beyond metal, far beyond price charts, and far beyond time itself. That if you enjoyed this story, make sure you subscribe for more incredible journeys into the world of rare treasures.